This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the Penny Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down-on-their-luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I need my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some penny their way.
Cookin Soul.
Alrighty. So we're right back at it, because why wouldn't we be? Why wouldn't we be? 25 days of Goutmas. You guys at this particular point should kind of know how our sequence of events go. And let's go ahead and kind of get right into it. So season's greetings and happy holidays all around. As you guys know, 25 days of Goutmas is brought to us by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company, Art Snorts Gin and Tonic, and Tim Snortons. It's a thing. So hopefully you guys are doing well. And being that it's the holiday season, you can't have the light without the dark. So, oh boy. So our next situation is gonna get a little dark. It's gonna be a bit of a thing here. Failure, ladies and gentlemen, is a failure in a lot of ways is like misery, and it loves company. And it's usually very misguided, comes from a false sense of resiliency, I think, where no matter how bad you fuck up, you can always bounce back from. It's not always the case, but it's few and far between. Today's particular matter is going to prove that in spades. This egotistical piece of shit thought only a year plus ago, I'd say we're probably going on 2 at this point, that you know, detractors, trolls, haters, and critics ain't shit, that he was a top 2 detractor, and that no matter what happens, he can always bounce back bigger and better. So he can show up Jay, he can show up Sly, he can show up Sav, and show up all the other detractors that, excuse me, he had some real talent, he has some real worth, and so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Well, that didn't actually pan out, and regret has seeped in. Now, regret, in particular with this individual, has happened quite a few times this year, but I've chosen with a level of specification on this particular morsel, only because in 2026, I'll have even more to go down range on them. But for now, this will do. This will suffice. And this will appease me, I think, in such a way. And hopefully it appeases you guys as well. In such a way to where it will, you'll feel satiated after the fact. So, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly are we talking about? Let's go ahead and get strapped in, actually. Let's go ahead and get strapped in, because he is very much a crash dummy. So why wouldn't we? Let's pay him the respect that he deserves for whatever little that I can muster. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a ReviewTechUSA, unless that was unless that didn't seem apparent. There are very few people who have been on the platform, if not on the internet, as long as he has, to fail as monumentally as he has, and still hasn't learned a goddamn thing from it. But his regret, his tears of sorrow and despair I find rejuvenating in some way and whatnot. I never told you guys I was a good person, so you guys shouldn't be surprised by how ecstatic I am by this. But in any case, though, a Lolcow's a Lolcow. Beat them often, beat them long, and beat them often, to be honest with you. There's a reason for that, and we're about to get into that right now and whatnot. Perfect time for the holiday season. Let's see who's actually bringing us all this good stuff.
Holy God, what are you showing me?
Ah, yes, fantastic choice. Ozzy Cobb. Big ups to him. Remember, like with all of the videos that have been used in the 25 days of Goutmas, link will be down in the description. And let's go ahead and give you guys proper titles. We'll give Ozzy Cobb his proper respect, and then we'll move forward positively. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Ozzy Cobb review or RTU Copes about deleting his channel. This is from November 12th of 2025. Womp 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 womp. Yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. You guys are gonna enjoy this holiday meal for sure. And without further ado, here we go.
Hey!
Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that.
Holy God.
Look, I know everyone has like a live stream
Oh my
shtick, but
God. Hold up. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Okay. I think we're okay. I don't necessarily know. First of the Lolcow, not sure. Might be all right now. We will see. we will work our way through this. But I think we might be okay now. Keep in mind, I'm making some huge jumps in logic here. Here we go.
God, what are you showing me? His head. Come on.
today. How?
Oh boy, that ship, that trash fire, fucking Lolcow Live. I already told you how that shit was gonna go down anyway, so it was what it was. I even gave them damn near the blueprint of how they could fix the shit early on before the shit turned into shit. But whatever, Keem knows what he's doing. Ironically enough, just a second.
Look, I know everyone has.
Sorry, wrong button. Buggy mechanics. Ironically enough, apparently, Lebrowski ended up making it on one of their shows, the one that was run by Yo Mama, and which ended up getting Yo Mama's ass fired for all but of a day or two, and then they brought his ass back. But the fact that Keem squirmed the way he did when he saw Lebrowski on a show on the LCU is actually not the real tale of the tape. What really happened is what all these fucking mongoloids said after the fact. How every one of those people in the peanut gallery that's in the LCU went ahead and chimed in, and what they said about what Keem had said about having Lebrowski anywhere near their brand. I haven't seen Keem that afraid of somebody in a number of years, and I followed Keem for a very long time. I have not seen him show the type of fear and reverence, to be honest with you. More importantly than his fear, his reverence to somebody in a very, very long time, who, ironically enough, Lebrowski doesn't even take Keem that seriously. He doesn't take the LCU that seriously. They're just a convenient punching bag. But when you hear, you're not going to hear it here. You'll have to hear that next year or something. But when you hear, or go to Lebrowski's channel, he'll tell you, you know, he'll lay the whole thing out to you. When you hear how scared Keem, not only Keem himself, but how scared he has all those other members of the LCU. It's the holidays. I mean, maybe I'll try to be a decent person and give them the respect that they deserve. Nah, fuck that. They're all losers. But anyway, the fact that he gives the fact that he's instilled the type of fear into those idiots that he has, to where Lebrowski's damn near a banned word over there, damn near. And in the Discord, it's even funnier because it's really flee on sight. Like fucking Lebrowski's Minato and shit. And this is the fucking, this is like the 5th fucking Lolcow Ninja War and shit, and everybody has to flee on sight. Like it's not even a thing. Don't even try to engage with him. Don't try to talk to him unless you're off the plantation. Then that's different. But or reservation, whichever you're comfortable with. But if you're under the brand, if you're still being paid by Keem, it's a flee on sight, no matter what. I was stunned. I was stunned that Keem instilled that type of fear on people. I haven't seen someone do that to someone else since what DSP did to Cat before she moved into the Snort fort. Wild shit. Wild shit. The developments that will come out of that should be fascinating. And if even an iota of the shit that I hear that comes out of that Lolcow fucking Discord is true, not the main one, the secondary one they have, where all these guys congregate and all this shit. They said Keem was losing his shit and he was yelling at people and doing all that. Now, I get it. Yo Mama had already pitched the idea to Keem. Keem didn't want him to do it, which makes sense because they would have wanted that on the main channel. But Keem's a coward, so he didn't want to actually question anything that Lebrowski had to say about him because Lebrowski knows too much, especially now. Before, I'm sure Lebrowski didn't know much. about Keem before he started all this Lolcow coverage. But as time has gone on, he's learned a lot more. And he's patched into some people that Keem would probably feel very, very happy and comfortable with the names not coming up. So now Lebrowski's like, yo, I'm out here. I want that smoke. And Keem's like, nope, no one engaged with him at all and whatnot. So it's wild. And the fact that Yo Mama would sit there and go ahead and break ranks to go ahead and pull that publicity shouldn't surprise anybody. Right now, whether you believe it or not, given how fucked up girl world is, basically, I would have to say that Yo Mama's probably the only one who still has a lifeline to Amberlynn Reed and Chantel, or Foodie Beauty and whatnot. If he can get them onto his little show, whatever show he's on, that could be big for him. That could be really, really big for him. And the Lebrowski thing just shows that, hey, I'm not going to follow the fucking herd like the rest of you guys. No guts, no glory. Now, first off, let me be very clear about Yo Mama. Fuck Yo Mama. But I will say that you know what I'm saying, he's ballsy. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. He went ahead and he shot his shot and whatnot before that shit abruptly got taken down. But he did shoot his shot, and it is what it is, and he's back over there now. He got back, you know, he got fired for all but a couple of days or whatever, and then he's back up on there. So it is what it is. So there's no real repercussions unless you, you know, if you're bringing in that heat, and it is what it was. But the thing is that Keem still needs Lebrowski to be on basically on a no-fly list, if you will, because the closer that he gets, the more he's on those shows, the closer he can get to Keem, and Keem don't want that. And more importantly, because Keem don't have no dirt on him. Because if Keem actually had some information on him, he would have been wanted to smoke with Lebrowski at this point. But you don't have nothing on him. You don't know enough about him. So it is all you know is that Lebrowski was in the commentator community at one time or another before he started going over this Lolcow shit. Other than that, he's a ghost. Well, so to speak. I'm not going to speak on what I've heard, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing dirt. It's nothing dirty or whatever. It's just some of the things that he talked about as it pertains to the commentator community. It's no different than what some of these other guys did. So it is whatever. But it's not enough for Keem to be able to drum something on him. So basically, Lebrowski has everybody in fear, which good on him. That's a good thing. Yet again, beat your Lolcows and beat them often. Any case, let's go. Sorry for that bit of a derailment. Let's go back to what our actual situation is.
It's like a live stream shtick, but it's just people getting hired. I guess Big Brother works. I don't know. This is like the Temu version of Big Brother, I guess. It's like, I don't even understand Big Brother. Lauren, I think, still watches. Is Big Brother still a thing, or is it gone? But what it was, or if it still is, I don't even understand, like, how people are chosen to stay and chosen to leave.
That doesn't even matter, because anybody who gets fired can get brought back, meaning Lolcow universe. Anyway, but the majority of these people that you see are just people out of their Discord. That's literally what it is. Keem pulled a DSP and poached his talent from their fan base. That's who all these fucking rejects are for the most part and shit. And the ones who actually did some real talent on their own before this, some of them have left. The other ones are just a bunch of just racist old people who, some of these chicks have OnlyFans and whatnot, which is, I've seen some of them, they're fucking ridiculous. And that's only because of the leaks that came out of some of those adjacent Discords, that they were passing some of these chick shit around, which is just sad. Like, why did you guys open up OnlyFans? You guys ain't fucked your whole lives up for basic shit that you guys probably could have just done on the gram and got away with it. Anyway, just sad shit. Just really just sad shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to poach your audience for content, and then you thought that they were going to work. Yes, I get where Keem's idea is, that they have the infrastructure, but look at the main show. The main show ain't shit now. Like, if they're holding on to 2,000 viewers, good on them, but even then, that's how far we've fallen from the 7,000 to 9,000 they once had. Boogie's is the last holdout because he can't do shit else and whatever. Keem is barely on Lolcow Live anymore. He floats around the other shows and shit until he can finagle someone else to get in position, which is weird because Keem says that there are larger YouTubers who would love to be on Lolcow Live, but yet no one making no move over there. And he can't even get wings to come back. When you can't get wings to come back and you don't want to be up there, that says a lot. That right there is the real tail of the tape, if you ask me.
make it make sense.
Putting on the hardest and best show they can. Shit, I would be happier if I went back to sitting on my ass on disability.
Why? And this isn't hard at all. It has stressful moments, but I mean, woe is me. And I've talked.
We mean stressful moments like your dad coming in and saying, "Hey, a credit card just showed up. Is this yours or not?" Because he knows that you got yourself compromised because you're an idiot. You ain't sat there and compromised yourself. So he wanted to just stay on top of the fact that, hey, if there's any, weird credit cards or anything coming up, he wanted to know for sure. You ain't sat there and freaked out over that shit. Or how you're not taking care of your kids the way you should. Freaking out about that shit. How's that Ozempic or whatever fucking weight loss thing you're on, fucking Rich? Is that working out for you and shit? Which is weird because I thought you said you were going to the gym and whatever. I mean, if you need the help, you need the help. I'm not going to shame you for that. But I will also say, are you still going to the gym or are you just going to pull what Foodie Beauty and fucking Amberlynn Reed did and do that until, it stops working and then you just pile all the weight back on? Just asking for a friend. Like what exactly is going to be the play moving forward? Like all the stress that Rich has in his entire YouTube career for the most part was his own doing. He brought it upon himself because he swears that he's the biggest he was the top dog. He was the biggest whale. He was the head of the pride around this shit at barely 5'7", and then got brought down to size incredibly fast. And the fact that he keeps going after them cats with that melanin and whatnot seems that he has an addiction of doing that shit. The fact that he ain't done that and gotten cleaned up by each and every one of them and everybody else he keep ducking makes sense. So there's that too. You know what I'm saying? Every fight that he's ever had online, he brought it upon himself. Like this fake ass fucking soprano bullshit that he like to pull ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen where you dwell, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's not a terrible place, but it's not the place you make it out to be. And it's not even yours. It's your parents. And you're trying to fuck them over on some weird ass shit, which is really foul. But it seems like it must be something in the Connecticut waters where, at least somewhere in Connecticut, that you guys have it in you to fuck over your parents for small amounts of money. I don't get it. It's almost like it'd be far easier just to get a job and still do this on the side.
Talked about the downsides here that, I think most people think it's understandable what I've said.
If you
Corn
have a
Hub,
chance, look
exactly.
up James Trapp.
Could you send me an email? I don't know if we'll do it tonight. I may actually play some games. Well, I shouldn't say that because I'm going to turn it on and the capture card's going to be fucked up and we know what's going to happen.
Anyway, why aren't we playing Mario Kart World anymore? It's funny how he quit that right around the time DSP quit it. Womp womp. And like, he's still begging for meaning Rich. He's still begging for memberships every night. So why don't you do another Mario Kart night? I just thought I'd throw it out there.
That is also what keeps me stopping me from playing games too. Because it's like, I have everything set up and I know it works. But then it's like, oh, I have to restart OBS. Or, oh, the capture card, unless I plug it and plug it back in, for some reason it's not handshaking with whatever I have plugged into it. Oh,
Jesus Christ, you sound just as inept as DSP is when it comes to this technical shit. The fuck? Isn't your name ReviewTechUSA? Well, Richard Amaro now. That's just because he's a lazy piece of garbage. But wasn't your name ReviewTechUSA? Did you build up to 1 million sub channel? He really didn't. If you actually, now let me actually speak on that. If you take away all of the botted subs and shit, he's probably closer to about 600 to about 800,000 subs, ironically enough. But semantics, I'll explain myself on that one later. But how the fuck did you make it this far by doing literally nothing? Amazing. Gotta tell you, absolutely amazing.
I have to restart the whole fucking computer and then everything works. Why is it like that?
I don't know, tech man. Why is it like that?
I need my ass!
Yes, I do.
At Alex Zanos.
I need my ass!
Yes, I do.
At Alex Zanos donated $5 through Super Chat. Do you regret deleting Watusa? Not trolling. I just realized today that when I see Rich TMRW, I still have to check for a sec used to ReviewTechUSA.
Yeah, no, I do. But you know what? One door closes and other opportunities open.
Really? Where's those opportunities at, Rich? Because the reality is you sat there and deleted your main channel to save this secondary channel here that you're supposedly wanting to do new stuff on, only to in turn do the exact same shit that you were doing on the main channel minus fucking streaming, which never made no sense to me either, by the way. So you have a quote unquote million sub channel and you're not streaming on it? Why? Why? Like, it kind of makes sense that I have this channel here, which whatever my sub count is, 4,000, give or take, and I decide to stream on another channel that has just over 1,000. That kind of makes a little bit more sense. But like, you have a sub, you have a, if you want to talk about subs and numbers, right? Because that's what Rich and the people around him who are adjacent to him, that's what they care about. Why wouldn't you be streaming on a million sub channel? He never did. I don't think he's ever streamed on that channel. Well, he may have early on, but I think he stopped doing that. And if the channel, and if according to him, if the channel's been dying for years, then why not just start streaming on it primarily? None of that made any sense. And then we were supposed to step away from doing gaming news, and that's pretty much all he does. And he posts that pretty regularly. So what was the reason why he couldn't do it on the main channel? It's no more low effort slop than it was before. I have so many questions.
I know I haven't uploaded for a bit to the ASMR channel, but
that's still a thing? Jesus Christ.
Do I think that's going to be huge? No. But I already got a partner. It's definitely going to be a side hustle. I'm thinking
it's a side hustle. It's a side hustle with you embracing your inner bitch. Okay, that's a way of looking at it, I suppose.
You know, I want to do, and when it gets done, it's done. I'm looking to do a video that's like 4 hours or 5 hours.
Oh no, we're gonna have another Netflix style show. Oh God, please, lordy, don't do that to us. Don't do that.
Minimum 2. Because
hey, lazy bastard, he already scaling shit back already. How do you jump from 4 hours to 2 hours? Jesus Christ. Is Lauren gonna get the fucking dick, or is she only gonna get a quarter of it and deal with it? Which one is it, Phil? Phil, my bad. Phil and Rich are so hard to distinguish from these days. Which one is it gonna be, Rich? Oh, that was an interesting slip up on my part. I will take all criticisms that come off of that one. But to be honest, a Lolcow's a Lolcow. Most of these guys are blurred these days. They're around the same fucking height anyway, more or less. Maybe DSP is slightly taller and whatnot. And Rich is slightly, not even slightly, he's just far more rotund. So it is what it is. You could forgive me on that one slip up. But don't. I should be held accountable like anything else.
You know, when you're doing a video like that, you want it to be something where people are just, not just 20 minutes. So I'm trying something. I'm experimenting.
You're still doing that?
I know I got to do shorts here. I've been talking about it. I am going to start uploading shorts.
Really? Wasn't Jay uploading shorts on the main channel and you said it wasn't getting any motion, so you didn't see the value in it? All right, semantics, which is ironically enough the same thing that DSP said too.
How many? Don't know. I'm going to start in November. I got to figure out my formula though before I start uploading.
It's funny how we're always figuring out a formula when we can't just test shit. Just see how things happen. If it fails, it fails. If you want to call it failing, of course. If it's all just a test or an experiment, there is no such thing as failure. I mean, unless you blow yourself up or something. That's a little different, but you know what I mean.
I don't want to put up a half-ass short.
Oh, like you don't put up half-ass content already. Imagine that.
Not saying I'm going to do anything high production value, but I got to figure out like what.
Thanks for proving me right. Thanks for proving me right.
The formula is what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, I'm not doing something Netflix quality. But you know, what I'm thinking of doing, it's what I recorded the footage for, is just
and the sad thing is too, by the way, I gotta point this out. His quote unquote Netflix style fucking video, for if any of you guys even remember that fucking slop. And if anything, I don't even think that's the original. Now that I think about it. The one that's currently well, there's two versions. Like if you go to one of the Rich archive channels, there's actually two versions. I never saw the second one. The edited style, the edited one. I saw the original one. I don't know what the other one looks like. But I don't know how he fucked that up. I really don't. He had all the resources that he needed around him, and then more importantly, his most valuable resource, which is his father. Like his father is a legitimate tech head. So you literally had everything that you needed, and you still screwed it up. It's phenomenal. I may have to go over that one day. It's absolutely phenomenal how he tanked that shit. And then he missed, if I remember correctly, he missed an entire gaming generation too. Which I don't know how you do that, but whatever.
Show the games I'm playing with, showing the FPS and GPU usage, CPU usage, so you can see how it performs, and just shooting the shit and talking over the gameplay.
Yikes.
for a very fucking long time. What I'll do is like in batches, like I'll do one game if it's an hour long, you know, do the voiceover for that. Maybe the next day do it.
Yeah, he really is turning into DSPC. That's why you could forgive me for what I said earlier, but don't. I should be held accountable either which way. Still funny though.
So I'm not overwhelming myself. Plus when you
I'm not overwhelming myself. This is your job, bitch. Not overwhelming myself. By playing this game, by playing games and by doing content that you allegedly love doing. Overwhelming yourself. Okay, man. All right.
you have to talk a certain way for a very long time, your voice kind of goes bleh.
Same.
But we got
Do these idiots really think that
Nah, I don't want to go. Look, as much as I regret shutting down the channel, you know, I'm going to leave the ReviewTechUSA name where it is. You know,
sitting their asses in front of
Leave it where? Like, other people basically have ownership over that shit now. You're rich of tomorrow, remember? What ownership do you have? Whatever.
for some reason would self-snitch, and he would tell everyone that he has been
yeah, and it's not, I'm not going to go like licking the microphone or do any fucking, I mean, I am weird, and ASMR I get is weird, but it's just soft-spoken shooting the shit.
Another example of a closet homosexual, him, DSP, probably Wings. Like, y'all are weird, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Just come out and embrace that shit if that's what y'all really into, because that's what it seems like you guys are all into. Between Wings and his many escapades on fucking X videos, between Rich exchanging gay porn with some other dude on his Discord and then stashing that shit in the same Dropbox as the pictures are of his stepdaughters, fucking pictures, which could be considered CP adjacent, and one especially because they're not his kids. And then on top of fucking DSP and all his fucking weird ass fucking shit, you guys are all gay. you guys are all gay.
About the game I'm playing and maybe talking about other games and talking about, that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to be like humping the microphone while
eating mushrooms, developed some sort of self-respect, and he now
no, he wants to quit because you were required to at least pretend you're going to quit to be on Lolcow Live. If you are not,
it is funny that Rich is fair. Big ups to Oz, Ozzy Cobbs here. He's right. Rich is the only person who got fired and stayed fired, because even Becky Boop, and that's if that chick's even alive. Someone probably needs to go ahead and send her someone needs to do a welfare check on that chick. Holy shit. Even with Becky, you know what I'm saying, theoretically, like, I mean, she kind of left on her own, truth be told. She really didn't get fired. She left. And even then, Keem was willing to bring her back until him and Pedo behind the camera basically fucked her over to try to get what they felt was their audience back, which really didn't even happen. They just left altogether for the majority anyway. And now they're down a host that could actually bring in attention, who people either wanted to hate fucker or hate watcher or both. And now he don't even have that. And he doesn't even have the viewership and the pay-pays that she had with her. Like, I don't know how Keem and fucking Pedo behind the camera thought that was a good idea. That was insane. Like, you guys can't even fuck over people right. That's crazy.
I don't know. It's just like, hey.
But anyway, yeah, Rich is the only person who got fired and never really got asked to come back. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, you could be fired at any moment, and you could be fired multiple times and be rehired multiple times. Okay. Great job, security. Excellent. Would love to work there.
But wait a second. You said that when you were doing Tech Talk with Jay, it was just a side thing. You were still going to keep doing your own streams and whatever. What kind of job security were you expecting from a side hustle? It was never really a job. Yeah, it's certain, just in case you don't know, he made more money that 1 month, literally 1 month, that he was over there with Keem than he does on his own streams. I can't remember what the exact calculations are, but he made a lot more money for sure. But it was never going to be a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was never going to go that far unless you were willing to literally go the extra mile to humiliate yourself. And don't get me wrong, Rich has as much pride or fucking, well, pride. He has about as much pride as fucking DSP does, which is non-existent, by the way, just in case you guys don't get the reference. So he would have put up with a lot. He would have put up with a lot. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that he couldn't retain attention on himself. A lot of the people over there can't, except for the main show, Queens, well, at one time Queens, and then Rewind. And all of them have kind of fallen by the wayside now. So, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, he was being set up from the jump. You guys know that story, you know that story. But he was being set up from the very beginning by Keem, Boogie, Wings, and Jay. So it is what it is on that.
Doesn't want to hear.
Mini disc emoji.
I told intro guy, I'm like, listen, you and I did a show together. It would print money.
Now you're trying to bring intro guy into this shit? Leave that man alone. Like, he doesn't mind doing the little side shit to help you along, but it's very clear the fucking intro guy never wanted to be part of your content back when it was actually considered content. Now you want to draw him into it? Damn. You know what? This is what, hey, Rich, you're not going to listen to this because you already know that I know way too much about you, so you don't want none of that with me. But let me go ahead and give you a small piece of advice and whatnot. Take and do what you will. Get on your hands and knees because you're good for this and whatnot, and go to fucking Sly and go to Sav and say, hey, you're sorry, and you want to do a frenemy enemy or frenemy hate enemy type bullshit with the three of them. That shit might actually print money, at least for a period of time and whatnot. You should do that. That's what you should do. Either that or fucking team up with Smash JT or something. Do that. Fucking team up with what's his name? 8-Bit Eric. Do that shit. Turn it into a frenemy type situation. That could work. To be honest, that could work. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a 24-hour fucking humiliation session, but that shit will fucking do fairly well. You know what I'm saying? And your enemies aren't gonna fucking steal from you because they have no need to because you're beneath them. So it is what it is on that. So they'll go ahead and let you get your piece of it because they know that you'll need it more than they do. So you know what I'm saying? You might as well just do that. That's the way I see it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But then again, your rebound. You're breaking out. It's supposed to happen in a year now, right, Rich? Right, Rich? Right. Tell me how that music career is going.
You know, but I know he's not. I don't think he wants to be a personality as a living. He was cool when he lived here, doing it occasionally. But you know, I was like, dude, I'll leave. Fucking.
Oh shit! I forgot. The intro guy was like a live-in babysitter for you for a period of time, wasn't it? And then he got COVID, and you couldn't have your kids at the house because he had COVID. Which, you know, and I think he said he would remove himself from the house for a bit, so this way you could still see your kids. And I can't remember if you had some pushback on that or not. Interesting. It's amazing how the live-in friend was more responsible than you. Imagine that.
Just buy food and you won't have to pay rent for like 6 months. But I get it, man. If you're not 100% into this, as easy as this job is, we were just talking about it, you gotta like it. Because if you don't, well, then you're Phil.
Well, it's not even about liking it. You got to believe in it. You have to believe in what you're doing. And you have to accept that, you have to accept the good, the bad, and the otherwise. You got to accept the fact that you're going to go in the slumps, that you're going to have declines. And when you do rise, it's not going to last forever. It may actually very well be rather fleeting and whatnot. That's the difference between people who like the shit, the people who are just in it for money, and the people who love the shit or believe in the shit. Now I think about it, you can put that fourth category in. Rich doesn't fall into any of those categories. He always chased it down for the money. DSP did it for the validation. I think DSP did this shit for the validation even more than the money, but I've been preaching that to y'all. So it is what it is and whatnot. Because Rich can never say he did it for the influence. He had influence, believe it or not. But he never had, like, he was never going to be one of the big tech channels who have the real respect and whatever. He was going to be the outlier sideshow type situation that everybody wants to go in and hear him bitch about whatever the fucking topic of the day was. Nintendo bad at this, Sony bad at that, Microsoft bad at this. That's kind of what his situation was. And instead of going with a blueprint that actually worked, he wanted to be taken more seriously, despite the fact that he was never really taken seriously. Whatever. But he wanted to be taken more seriously. He ended up fucking it all up, which is ironic. It's crazy to say that someone that's literally on the same plateau as DSP was actually more successful than DSP, and he still figured out a way to fuck it up. I don't know how you actually do that. I'm not even sure that's actually possible, and it surprises me that I actually let that shit come out of my mouth because I barely believe it, but I've seen it. So how do I deny what I've already seen?
Yeah, it's like I don't.
Jesus Christ.
And
Rich.
Keemstar was like sloppy drunk when he was there.
Yeah, I would say Lolcow Live has done Keem no fucking favors. He's full blown into his alcoholism now. Shit is fantastic. And don't be wrong, Keem's a drinker, but he's never drinking like that, especially coming off of Only Use Me Blade. Like, he knows what it looks like to have a friend that completely got gripped by fucking alcoholism. In the exact same way that fucking Ludwig and whatnot knew what it was like before he ain't sat there and convinced Mango to fucking drink himself stupid and then harass all those chicks at that stream or whatever. But then again, it's ironic. That's ironic too that Ludwig and whatnot, fucking Hassan Piker's little fucking pet dog, not the Ludwig that's over here amongst the tractors. I'm talking about that guy, the golden retriever for fucking Hassan Piker. It's crazy because I'm not sure if most of y'all actually follow that, but he admitted that he watched his father drink himself to death. He was probably between 11 and 13. And then years later, this guy, Mango, who you swear to God is your best fucking friend and shit, and is one of the reasons why Ludwig is even where he's at, to be honest with you. You ain't sat there and willingly was gonna let that man drink himself to death and probably get alcohol poisoning and die for entertainment purposes. And yet you ain't watched your father do that exact same thing. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I understand, Ludwig, that, you know what I'm saying, maybe your fucking girlfriend, QT Cinderella, is probably Hassan Piker's dick sleep. And, you know, you feel a certain type of way. Maybe it's alleged. There ain't no proof of nothing. But, you know what I'm saying, it's funny to hear it. So I can understand that you feel a certain type of way. But then also you may very well be a closeted homosexual yourself, given some of the shit that came out about you and other men. So, that's the thing too, allegedly, whatever. But for you to sit there and watch your friend drink himself to death, basically for your benefit, not even his, but for your benefit. You didn't even feel a need to to step in and stop the shit. That says a lot about you, champ. So it makes sense that you don't mind turning your head to all that fucking weird ass shit that goes on in the Smash community. It makes sense why you don't mind showing. It makes sense why you don't mind turning your head. I don't understand why Charlie do it, Moist Critical, but I can kind of see why you do it. I get it.
Fucking Boogie's tripping on fucking mushrooms, but you know, me taking edibles, you would have thought, but then they didn't really care. It was just like, hey.
But I thought the edibles thing was exaggerated, and the fucking the weed drinks and all that shit really wasn't a thing. And whatever. He keeps contradicting himself, so it is what it is.
And then they move on to the next thing.
You sounded a lot like DSP with that one.
They're fucking flat out parasites, dude.
Oh wow.
I was meant to intern experience. I did it.
If you aren't getting checks cut behind the scenes and you're still doing this for theatrics, you're out of your fucking mind. And
now, Rich actually has a point with that, because you'd be surprised how many people in the LCU who are not actually paid. It's actually kind of crazy. It's actually kind of crazy that you actually have people that are on those shows who are making nothing or damn near less than nothing. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird that Keem demands you guys to be up there 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and some of y'all are barely scraping by with $200, if less than that. A month. Not even a week, a month, allegedly. If that's the case, that's crazy. That's crazy. He's paying you below the poverty line. That's fucking nuts.
I know he's not, because he did the same thing with like Becky and me. Oh, go film her holding a sign, spread for bread, and it's okay, you're missing work, and if you ask me for gas money, I'll fire you. Which, hey.
Wait, you asked another man for gas? He did. I do remember that, because I actually remember that situation, because I think I went over it. It might be vaulted. I'm not sure if it ever got published. Team wanted Becky to do a humiliation situation. A humiliation ritual. It's a punishment is what they call it over there, but it's really a humiliation thing. And they assign Rich to drive from where he's at to where she is, which isn't far, it's a couple hours, I think, to meet up at like a Walmart parking lot or some shit to actually get it done. Now, I had questioned even then, why send Rich to do it? But because Rich was just the ass monkey of the day, that makes sense why he was the one who was there. And Becky didn't even show up, which allegedly that was planned too. They basically sent Rich out there on purpose for him to get no show just so he could drive his ass back. I can't remember how long the drive was, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a little more, a little less. But still, the fact that he even agreed to it was stupid. He shouldn't have agreed to it. He should have asked for someone else to do it. But whatever. So yeah, like if I really sit down and think about it, Keem put Rich through the fucking ringer over the span of that month. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. You let another man manipulate you like that, and you have kids. You have kids, and you let another man play you like that.
He did me a favor.
Sure did.
Wanted to put on a good show for them. Again, stuff that I never wanted to do.
You ate soap?
Didn't you eat ass pizza? And he ate bugs too. Cobb is right on that. But didn't you eat like ass pizza or some shit? Which is gross. It's gross. And then then you fucking end up wasting that shit on the floor, and then it was what it was. I mean, I can understand if Lauren has sat on it, because I would assume you've eaten her ass at least once or twice. But like, fucking A, dude, you sat there and literally was tasting your own ass. You thought you were cool with that shit? That was gross. That was fucking disgusting. So it's not like Rich can say that he's above anything. Just a second. All right, we back. But yeah, like, he can't really judge what someone else was willing to, what someone was willing to eat or put in their own mouth, given what he's done. That seems a bit hypocritical, if you ask me.
Nah, man. Even if you're willing, and this is all a shtick, which it is. Hey, what you're gonna do today, Rich? You're gonna pretend you're gonna get fired. You're gonna eat soap. All right, Daniel, you first.
Bro signs up for a show where he has to be a clown and then gets...
Yeah, that's Rastov. Rastov is a real interesting piece of shit. The nonsense that goes on and that's said about him, allegedly shit that he's done to other people, is disgusting. He's literally the definition of just two-faced. Like, holy fuck. Amongst other things. He's a weird type of abuser too, verbally or even emotionally, not physically. He's a fucking weird one. And who is he? He's another fucking high-paid whale that used to be in their Discord that now was like community manager and shit. And he thinks he's like top shit, but because he has such a large quote-unquote workload that Keem can't really afford to get rid of him even if he wanted to. But like, Rastov's not even entertaining. He's just an asshole, like, and not even a good one, because he tries to play the nice guy, good guy shit, and everybody already sees through him. And Criley, or Xylee, but Criley has been like on his ass since day one. And though I don't care much for Xylee, I can see why. To be honest, I never really could discount anything she said because I didn't know enough about him at the time. But I can see why she's been on his neck as long as she has. But then that doesn't even matter because she doesn't even have the stroke, let's say. She doesn't even have the stroke over Keem anymore, to where if fucking Rastov wanted to get her fired, he kind of could, to be honest with you. I mean, she wouldn't be the first, but like, it's icky. It's really, really icky. And then Rastov has this lovely habit of having people talk to them and spill their guts, and then he holds on to that shit as fucking stuff he can use against them later, which is not something that's completely come out yet, but I've heard upon reliable sources that that's what he likes to do. So keep that in mind. And then he's also a rat. So like Xylee or Criley, he likes to go and tattle on people to Keem a lot too. It's a it's a mess.
Bryce, when he gets told he has to be a...
Yeah, dude, I take my shirt off. I went to, the United Arab Emirates to eat steak bites on stream. I'm grossly exaggerating, but you get my point. But hey, Rich, would you, for $1,000, would you eat soap? No. How about 2,000? No. Like, no. And it just to earn my way back to make a check. Get the fuck out of here. And even if it was staged, which it could very well be, it's still, no, I'm not eating soap. Maybe it wasn't soap.
You'll eat bugs though? All right.
Hopefully it fucking wasn't. Either that or he had diarrhea shits for like 2 days.
Clown. I mean, the joke does it.
10K. 10K.
So 1,000 or 2,000 was no and beneath you, but for 10K you would eat soap. It's not the flex that you think it is, man. Like, first off, if someone asked me to eat soap for whatever amount, nah, B, and whatnot. And if I thought that there's some type of specifications or if I could put a criteria in, then I would do it from the jump before I said no. I don't know why people can't think ahead like that, but Whatever. Holy shit. But now it's 10K. All right. That's what it takes for you to fucking get back suited up on Lolcow Live. 10K. Or the Lolcow universe. All right, I guess.
There you go. $10,000 I'll eat soap. But just to earn my way, get the fuck.
For 10K, he better eat that whole bar of soap. If I'm Keem, I'm gonna be like, all right, I want you to eat that whole bar of soap. And you have to do it within the hour. Yeah, like if that's the case, you got to eat that whole bar of soap, which he's not going to make that. I don't think anybody would, or anybody could, to be honest. But yeah, he's definitely not going to make it through that.
Out of here. I'll still start my own live stream.
Yes, because your live stream brings as much money, if not more money, than what you were making on Lolcow Tech Talk. Sure. Well, I mean now maybe because everything over there is diminishing returns. But definitely not back in the day. That would definitely not have been a true statement.
Not that he would get the same viewership or money, but he would get some people to follow him.
I need my axe!
At anything on everything 5593 donated $5 through Super Chat. If I could go back in time, it would be 80s and 90s best years in America history. People got along better, I think.
Let's keep it real. Reagan was laying down the foundation for a lot of things that we're seeing today, though. Trickle-down economics is the first one I think of, and that says hello.
Acting all high and mighty.
Why is he being so weird?
In Discord call with y'all. I'm dead.
It's crazy. He put the bait first. Oh my god. Oh. Even, man, this is the first time ever. Even I've lost more weight back in 2019.
You must be high as fuck. I wonder how he lost all that weight back in the day too. A lot of the theory was that he got surgery, which could be true. But it could be true. It could be. But I don't know how that was. But it doesn't matter because he put it all back on and some. So it is what it is. Like I said, he's on Ozempic or he's on something else now. So, I mean, it is what it is. He's trying to live long, a little longer for his kids that he doesn't give a shit about. Whatever.
However, my fingers have lost their candy corn shape mostly. It's weird, man. My fingers don't feel like my own fingers. Like, who are these slender hands? It's like, why do I feel like I had hands attached to me from another body? It's fucking bizarre. Anyway.
Wow.
That is great. No, I have 3 kids with Lord. 3.
You sure? You seem kind of unsure. Is she taking other back shots that you don't know about? I mean, you are on quite a few dating apps, so I'm sure that you've either penetrated or attempt to penetrate a few holes that she's not aware of. Sure those kids are yours, Rich? Sure you don't want to get a DNA test? I'm just asking. If you were able to go ahead and float around and do whatever you want to do, who's to say that, you know what I'm saying, a better man didn't run up through her? Just saying. No one says that batter box is actually yours until you put a ring on it, and you couldn't do that. So, whatever. Let me not go ahead and weave any doubt about anything.
And they're gorgeous kids. So I'm not sure they're mine.
They might not be, but all right. He said it, not me. I mean, I alluded to it, but he's confirming it, so it is what it is.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
Oh, I have created children with that woman. Somehow.
Wow.
Seriously? Lolcow Live is dead. You may as well put a bullet inside my head. I don't know what the fuck to do without Keemstar. There's no show for you. It's the Boogie Show and it fucking sucks. And I wish I could fucking duck under my desk and hide from you because without Keem, we're fucking screwed, yeah.
Yikes. Big ups to Ozzy Cobbs. Jesus Christ. Oh shit, I forgot how terrible those fucking songs they have over there are. Jesus Christ, they're horrible. Anywho, let's see. As it pertains to Rich and his regrets, yet again, he's a lot like DSP in that he thinks that just one more video, just one really good stream, just somebody giving him a shout out is all it takes to turn everything back around and everything will be forgiven. that was YouTube of, you know, the 2010s. It's not like that now, man. The landscape is way, way fucking different, and the two of them are just living, just two fucking broken down old men trying to relive their glory days, if there really was any glory to it. If you really look back, they were both flukes, to be honest with you. But trying to relive their glory days with nothing really to show for it, which makes it even more sad if you think about it. You would think there'd be a bit more value and a level of self-respect to it, especially with Rich, because fucking, hey, Rich, you got kids, man. You got fucking kids. But, you know, it's not as if you actually value your children, right? So I guess that's not a thing. So, which is kind of unfortunate when you think about it in that way, or in that hindsight. That's kind of terrible. Oh boy. So yeah, there you go on that. Yet again, I don't know if it'll ever really sink in for Rich how much he screwed the pooch on that situation, but it is what it is. I've heard him on a couple of different occasions try to downplay the amount of money that it made. Just literally being dishonest, but whatever it takes to keep his little ego in check on tossing away money over some dumb shit. But more importantly, if we want to go off of the assumption of birds of a feather or guilt by association, are some of the people around Rich, or who were around Rich at one time or another, I'll say at one time or another, but around Rich, were they also buying subs? You know what I'm saying? Were they buying viewership? It makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying? It makes you wonder. But semantics, that's another conversation for another day. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. And yet again, 25 days of Goutmas. I'll see you guys for the next one, which tomorrow. And we will and you will be there to watch me continue my holiday campaign of going through some of the dumb shit that happens on amongst Lolcows, I should say, on a regular basis, so to speak. Stuff that I only reference at times, but now you actually get to see some of it live in full effect. Fun times, fun times. In any case, take care of yourselves, people. Happy holidays, and I'll catch you guys for the next one. Later, people.